You guys, if you're seeking freedom from anxiety, depression, but you're feeling unsupported, you know that I created this channel and these videos for people just like you, right? And you know, if you follow me, you know I overcome debilitating depression, paralyzing anxiety, major suicidal ideation, chronic insomnia, PTSD, all that shit for years, right? And I put together this video here. I was prescribed, and this is probably only half of them, right? They made me throw the other half away before they give me new pills. And this is a bag of the 20 to 25, maybe even 30 different medications I was prescribed. And then they gave me one of these fuckers here. You ever seen this thing? The sleep apnea machine, right? If anybody has, yeah, they thought I had sleep apnea because I had nighttime anxiety and I couldn't breathe. So they gave me this fucker here and they tell you put the thing on your nose, and you know what? This made it actually worse. So I'm sharing this with you today because I want to give you my worst. I want to show you that how bad it was, so you begin to feel better knowing, wait a minute, if that fucker can do it, I can too, right? And that's why I put these videos together for you guys, to show you that there is hope. I gave that thing up, and to this day, what I use is these. I'm a light sleeper, so I put the earplugs in my ears. Now again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not advising this, not telling you, I'm not writing prescriptions or telling you how to live your life. I'm sharing with you what I did and how I got through it. I gave up the fucking machine after I got my meditation down to science, because that meditation is what started to quiet my mind and relieve me and cure my nighttime anxiety. Do you realize how fucked up my nighttime anxiety was? I had nighttime anxiety so bad that I couldn't sleep. And I'm not talking for months or weeks, months. I'm talking years. And I said it before, if you follow me, you know that I was taking the Xanax, right? And I took to get 90 minutes of sleep sporadically, not consistently, sprinkled over years. I don't know how I did that. So the meditation practice by Dispenza really started changing my entire life, right? So if you're not following him or listening to him, I highly suggest you start listening to some of his stuff. It's amazing. So I also tape my mouth closed. You guys ever do that? You see that? So I tape the mouth closed, tape it. I sleep at night on my back. I breathe through the nose, and I put the earplugs in, and this little roll of tape right here with my meditation replaced that fucking machine. I don't use that anymore. I hated it. If you've ever tried that thing, are you kidding me? To put something in my nose, there's people who do it. I couldn't do it. I had nighttime anxiety. So bad, the voice in my head was so loud, and then he put that fucking thing in my nose and trying to sleep. It magnified, it intensified it so bad that it made it worse. It made everything worse. I woke up in the morning, when I fall asleep for 5-10 minutes, every time, if I could even fall asleep, when I'd wake up, I would just feel worse, like shit. So I replaced all that shit. You have Trintellix in here, right? Trintellix. What do we have in here? Trintellix. What's this one called? Duloxetine, right? And then this one's called, what is this one called? Carbamazepine, 200 milligrams of that. And what is this one here? This one here is called Tizanidine, Tizanidine. And they're on and on and on and on and on. I mean, there's then for FAMOTIDINE. I mean, and what I'm saying is that it was bad, you guys. And the reason I kept these is because I knew, by the way, there was a time when let me tell you, if I'm being completely transparent with you, the reason I kept these initially is because I wanted something, if it got too bad, I wanted a way out, right? And I was going to swallow every fucking pill in this bag. That's how bad it was. It was either going to be these, the pearl handle pistol, or the Cutco knife. Those were my three things I had on standby at all times to take me out, because I really was sick and tired of how bad I felt. It was awful. I knew that when I got through this, I was going to have a reason to help other people who are struggling. I always prayed and expected. And when you pray, it's not a begging thing. You expect. I learned how to change my prayers to expectation of when it happens, not if, but when. Change it up here, and what's going to happen is gradually it's going to change the program in the brain. And I knew, my cousin told me, cousin Denise told me, and I shared the story before, several videos. I was my darkest days of depression, and I wanted out. And there was a conversation I had with cousin Denise, and she said, and now she was on the phone, and I called her, and I had a few people on standby that I would call, and the one conversation, I'll never forget this. It was I was in Colorado at the time, cold, gray, wintry day. And I'm a sunshine guy, man. I like being outside. And so that the weight of the depression was even intensified from the dark, dreary weather I was dealing with. And Denise, I want out. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to take myself out. And she fucking said, no, you're not. I mean, she said it with some very forceful, no, you are not. She said, when you get through this, you are going to be able to help so many people. And I got goosebumps right now, even just repeating the story. And the way she said it, you guys, it hit my heart like, fuck. There's going to be a reason, right? And something said, this is happening for your benefit, not to your detriment. This is happening for you, not to you. And I don't know where that came from. Whatever she said sparked that other voice in my head. And sometimes it's all we need. It's somebody to give us an ounce of encouragement, to feel a ton of inspiration, right? All we need is that. So that's why I provide these videos and these channels to you guys, is for a wealth of information for a life of inspiration. So my whole point in putting this video together for you today is to show you that, and this is probably not even half of what I was going through. So, and I'm not saying to you jump off your medication. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm sharing this with you because I was really, if you knew how bad I was, you would feel better knowing that I got through it. And now so can you. The whole point of making these channels is to give you hope, courage, and belief. And when you understand that belief is so powerful, because I can promise you without the belief, you don't have a chance. Because what's going to happen is your senses are going to continue telling you how bad things are. Let me be the first to tell you, or inspire you, encourage you, yes, you can get through this. Believe you can. Believe it's possible. Even if you don't feel it, just say it. I will get through this. I am living a life of emotional freedom. I am on my way. I am experiencing a depression-free life. I am. Plant those seeds of I am. Powerful, I am. Those I am affirmations are so fucking powerful if you understand. Because right now, what you're saying without even using words is I am depressed. I am hopeless. If you're consciously aware of your situation, then that's the programming you're using to plant those seeds of I am. So, and again, I said it before, the subconscious mind is not going to say, well, no, you're not. It's going to say, okay, you are. Consciously, you need to change the programming of the subconscious. And the subconscious mind is going to take it for face value. Whatever you impregnate that subconscious mind with, it's going to give birth, give life to, produce results, which is pretty cool. If you think about it, if all you have to do is change your programming with consciously become aware of what you want, take your attention and focus away from what you're going through, rise above, then what's going to happen? The subconscious mind is going to kick into gear and start to produce the like results, right? They're going to be relevant to, in accordance with how you feel and what you believe. There's so much in my head right now that I just want to do a brain dump and give everything to you guys. So if you follow me, you know I stutter. You see me sometimes stuttering, trying to get all out because I'm so, passionate about doing this. And I appreciate your patience with me. I really do. But there's so much I want to give to you guys, and I just feel the passion and power coming through these videos and give you the hope, courage, and belief that you can get through this. And I said it before, sometimes you live with somebody, mom, dad, significant other, husband, wife, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, so whoever, and if they don't understand, then there's a tendency for you to feel like nobody fucking gets it. And I get that. Been there. I understand how that feels. You see, there's not too much you could share with me that I wouldn't relate to. Again, we're all different. Like the thumbprint, everybody is different, unique, but as a whole, Whatever you throw at me, I'm pretty sure that I can relate to a portion, if not all of it, because I've been through a lot of it. So feel my passion for you guys. You know, this channel is for anyone, again, it's for anyone seeking support and encouragement for hope and belief, and not just to hear from somebody who's going to read it from a fucking book or give you some theory, right? You're looking at somebody who's been through who's in the combat zone, the eye of the hurricane, the darkest days, the hours and years, nasty stuff, right? And I told you before, when you can take your most creative power, the imagination, and you pair it, you intensify and amplify the feeling, elevate the feeling of how would it feel to be emotionally free, to experience emotional freedom. What does emotional freedom feel like to you? A life free from depression and anxiety. What does that feel like? Sit in that meditation and ask yourself, I'm going to try. Tell yourself, I'm going to try this. Then you ask yourself the question. And when you can amplify that and you really get in touch with that imagination you have, right? You're either fucked or freed. Because that imagination can either take in the wrong direction or the right direction. And I've been in both. And I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't wish what I've been through on anybody. It was god awful. And I said this before, you probably heard me say it, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Because that experience, the entire thing and getting through it, and the work I did to be on this side of it, it's priceless. It really is at a supernatural level. I used to hear the word supernatural quite often, right? But now I feel supernatural. I'm experiencing a supernatural life, free from the pain and suffering of the fucking depression. And I want that for you, and I know you can achieve that, because it's such a freeing feeling, right? To experience emotional freedom on a daily basis. When you get up in the morning, get out of that bed, and know that today is another day to experience the blessings of a supernatural life. Just to know that you are a miracle in God's highest form of all creation. I was listening to Dispenza earlier today on the treadmill. I listen to that book quite often. You Are the Placebo. 100 billion neurons, brain cells. 100 billion with a B. Do you realize what you can do with that? Do you realize the power of that? Do you realize if you tap into that, what you have at your control, in your possession? You start off in a liquid form. Have you seen the video of me in the shower talking about the sperm, right? Liquid form, how we start off as liquid form, and now we're this human body. If you could wrap your mind around the concept of that, just sit with that. 100 billion nerve cells, brain cells, right? Neurons. The brain, he says in that book, it is like a soft-boiled egg. It's malleable, right? It's just amazing what the brain can do. And that's not even counting the arteries, the veins, the vertebrae, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the scent, all that stuff we have from a liquid form. Man, it just blows my fucking mind. And that's what started me on this whole process of the supernatural transformation. I just said, you know what? My God, obviously I know how I know. We all know how we're conceived and what the process of life, the miracle of life is, but to really sit with it and dig deep in that, it'll take your mind off the depression, because it's so much bigger than the depression. Life is so much bigger. The process, the miracle, the magic of life is so much bigger than the fucking depression. That's why I told my brain had to believe. I consciously had to take my ass out of that situation. I consciously had to program the subconscious mind to believe I am a miracle in God's highest form of all creation. I said, you know me, I said that thousands of times. And when it started to work, it was like, oh man, I'm feeling it now. Amplify, but that intensify that feeling, the elevated emotion, and let the brain, the body become one and start feeling it. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So If you want to know something else, hit me back, ask me. You know, I'll share with you anything I have, you guys. Ask me anything you want. Honestly, God, whatever you want to ask me. I'm like an open book. Subscribe, like, DM, comment, anything it takes. I want you to be fucking bold. And I will see you on the next video.